Welcome to An Engineer's Life, Episode 11, Efficiency. My name is Dave Roysum. Here we continue our conversation from the last clip about making the best use of the time that we do have. Those of you who are friends or who have followed the previous clips may have noticed what is a seemingly impossible set of both work and personal projects. However, it is not impossible, and not necessarily even difficult. But it does require a bit of discipline and a certain mindset. An example of that mindset is illustrated in the next slide. When I am walking down the hallway, to the extent possible or reasonable, I will try and carry or do as many things as I can. Also, when I'm walking down the hallway, I will be planning my next trip down the hallway or the next activity. Hi dear, how was your day? Oh, very nice. Any thoughts for supper? Oh, that sounds really good. Any idea when it might be ready? So here we see an example of working smarter in this everyday activity. While I don't usually film and walk at the same time, in fact, this is the first time ever, and it was difficult, especially managing the selfie stick, I will often carry two things at once and or plan my next trip down the hallway or the next activity. Also, I don't fold and put away my casual clothes. I roll them up in sets, ready to pull out and go. Sometimes even taking the dirty clothes from my suitcase to the laundry to a roll that goes back in my suitcase for the next trip. Finally, all of my casual socks are the same size, the same color, the same brand, and the same style, and they are all purchased at the same time, a dozen at a time, when the previous dozen wears out. When I sort the mail, I will usually sort it over the wastebasket. Oh, that's Jane, junk, me, junk, Jane, me. Even the little things, such as sorting the mail, add up. However, I am much more attentive to trips downtown. I will usually make no less than 3, if not 6 stops per trip. These trips are optimized, for example, so that the route is short and the ice cream is picked up last. Another example of simple multitasking is listening to audiobooks or podcasts while I am mowing the lawn or gardening. Another example is with exercise, which is a very good thing. Rather than go to the gym, I get exercise by individual sports, such as landscaping, skating, whitewater kayaking, hiking, and the like. Exercise plus fun, instead of just exercise. In the next slide, we will meditate quietly on the worth of working smart. I did not come upon the idea of working smart in a flash of inspiration or by reading some how-to manual. In fact, it was not needed most of my life when I simply worked and went to school. It only became necessary when life gets more complicated. as it is now for most of us. It was not until the writing of this clip that I sat down to articulate what I was doing all along. It was not until the writing of this clip that I understood that what I was doing all along was SMED, something that I have been teaching my advanced winding and problem-solving students for more than a decade. SMED is a formal program that most of you have heard of that is about 1/2 century old. It embodies just 4 principles, though you could go to school for 4 weeks just to learn the finer points. The results can be phenomenal, as this tire changing in a race car pit shows. While the record for changing all 4 tires in a pit is just 14 seconds, we would probably take 14 minutes to change just 1 tire, and that would assume we could figure out how to get at the jack and the tire and put them back quickly. Few people enjoy being pushed to work harder and faster and smarter by others. However, it's not so bad if it is you doing the pushing, because you retain control. And don't beat yourself up. Make a game of it. If you miss a step or drop something, it's not the end of the world. If the traffic is snarly, it's not the end of the world. Also, there are many times where this won't make sense. If you are tired, don't beat yourself up. If you are working with others, don't beat yourself up for sure, but especially make sure that you don't beat up others. A personal example here. I have volunteered for the Boy Scouts for 2 decades. I mainly teach whitewater kayaking. Boy Scouts are not known for working efficiently, so I just sit back and do what I can and relax when I can't, and instead enjoy the process. To repeat, never ever push others like this. You will be despised and will get less from others in the process. In fact, don't even bring the subject up. If I even mention what I am thinking or planning, I will most certainly annoy my wife, because that is not the way she views or values life priorities. There's nothing necessarily wrong with someone who does not put efficiency at the top of their list of priorities. Thank you so much for letting me share these silly examples of how to save big on little things. Can you push yourself like this all the time? Heavens no! And even if you could, you would not want to. In the next clip, we will show how to relax, one of the most important but often neglected parts of working smart. Stay tuned.